Trade Zone as we celebrate the completion of the Lekki Deep Sea Port. We have the Governor of Lagos State, His Excellency Babajide Sanwo-Olu.
We are celebrating the completion of the construction of the port and the handover of the facilities.
We thank Lagos State Government under the leadership of His Excellency Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu and the entire Executive Committee for the support rendered over the years.
We encourage carefully for the completion of the construction of one of the most modern deep sea ports that you can see anywhere in the world. Here in our state, Lagos.
The $1.5 billion Lekki Deep Sea Port. Lekki Deep Sea Port is a multi-purpose, deep sea port located in the Lagos Free Zone. Is one of the most modern ports in West Africa, offering enormous support to the burgeoning commercial operations across Nigeria and the entire West African region. China Harbour completes construction of $1.5 billion Lekki Deep Sea Port. The China Harbour Engineering LFTZ Enterprise, CHELE, a subsidiary of China Harbour Engineering Company Limited, CHEC, that is the engineering, procurement and construction, EPC, contractor for the $1.5 billion Lekki Deep Sea Port, has announced the completion of the construction of the port. The Lekki port is one of the biggest deep-sea ports in West Africa, expected to generate $361 billion revenue for the Nigerian government, while also providing close to 200,000 job opportunities for the nation's teeming unemployed youths. The Vice President of CHEC, Mr. Wu Dai, who also doubles as a director of Lekki Port at the construction completion ceremony, disclosed that the construction of the port officially started on June 15, 2020, and was completed on Monday, October 24, 2022. This was as the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, assured that his government was working hard to provide ample ambience for transportation infrastructure, saying that works are ongoing to develop a 6-lane road network in the Ibeju-Lekki port axis to avoid traffic congestion. Dai revealed that the total contract value of the EPC for the project's first phase was $581 million. He added that the completion of the construction would pave the way for the container terminal operator, the Lekki Free Port Terminal, a subsidiary of CGM Group, to take over the port in readiness for the start of port operations. Sanwo-Olu expressed delight with the completion of the construction of the port. Sanwo-Olu reaffirmed Lagos State Government's commitment to the timely delivery of the road infrastructure network around the Ibeju-Lekki axis to ensure the seamless evacuation of cargo from the port. He also called on both local and foreign investors to invest in the state, adding that the zone was specifically designed for encouraging investments into the state. In his remarks, the chairman, Board of Directors, of Lekki Port, Mr. Bayodan Dabiri, expressed appreciation to the promoters of the project, CHEC and Talarum, for the bold decision to invest in maritime infrastructure which would help in Nigeria's journey to economic prosperity. Dabiri acknowledged the critical role played by Sanwo-Olu in resolving the various challenges encountered in the construction of the port, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic and attendant lockdown. We are pleased to celebrate the completion of construction of the port and the effective handover of the facilities by Lekki Port from the EPC contractor, CHELE, a subsidiary of CHEC, he said. LSO speaking, the General Project Manager of CHELE, Mr. C. Xianju, expressed delight that the construction was now completed. He noted that the port would be the destination of choice because it is the first deep sea port with a capacity to take large vessels. He commended the team, partners and suppliers for their contribution to the successful completion of the construction. Delivering the goodwill message on behalf of Talarum, promoter and shareholder, the Managing Director of Lagos Free Zone, Mr. Dinesh Rathi, expressed delight at the timely completion of the construction of the port. He noted that the port would further position LFZ as the next frontier for investment in Nigeria and increase foreign direct investment to Lagos State and Nigeria. The Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Ambassador Qui Jianchen, commended CHEC for displaying excellence in their project skills and promoting China's commitment to Africa's infrastructure development drive. He noted that the project was a good example of what can be achieved when Nigeria and China cooperate, and he looked forward to more of such projects. Lekki Port has been described severally as a game changer that would boost the growth of the Nigerian economy, creating about 170,000 direct and indirect jobs, generating approximately $361 billion during the period of the concession, and generating over $201 billion in revenue for both Lagos State and the federal government. Why Lekki Deep Sea Port? Strategic location and pro-development policies are contributing factors that will make Lekki Deep Sea Port a thriving ecosystem of maritime and port services, driving trade and business in Nigeria. As Nigeria is one of the largest economies in Africa, it deserves a new modern deep sea port that will connect it to world trade. The vision to build and operate a world-class port complex profitably and unlock further value for the stakeholders. While the mission is to bring an excellence in implementation of the port project within budget and time with suitable strategic alliances. Lekki Deep Sea Port is a multi-purpose, deep sea port in the Lagos Free Zone. It is the largest seaport of Nigeria and one of the biggest in West Africa, have a capacity of handling around 6 million TEUs of containers and a significant volume of liquid and dry bulk uncontainerized cargoes. The port is to be equipped with ships able to transport over 14,500 containers. The port is being developed in phases. Its Phase 1, be operational in 2018, chiefly comprises 3 container berths equipped to handle more than 1.8 million TEUs, 1 berth for dry bulk goods and 2 berths for liquid cargo. The port is financed by private investors and a consortium of banks who have funded the project with $1.5 billion as of March 2021. The seaport is to occupy up to 90 hectares of land. On October 31, 2022, the port was handed over to the owners. Lagos State Governor Sanwo-Olu promised on this occasion to expand the roads to the port to 6-lane highways. The layout of the port, including the layout of the approach channel, turning circle, and harbor basins, have been derived from optimizations based on port operations, construction costs, and possible future extensions. 2 different breakwater concepts were applied for the main breakwater: a rubble mound with geo-bag core for the near-shore sections and a composite breakwater for the more exposed sections. The main breakwater is 1.5 kilometers long. The secondary breakwater was replaced by a barrier. The barrier consists of a core from sand, internally fortified by a protective geo-bag layer, a revetment on the harbor side, and an artificial beach on the seaward side. The turning circle is 600 meters, enough for a vessel up to 16,000 standard containers, TEU. The approach channel is 11 kilometers long. The terminal is able to handle 2.5 million 20-foot standard containers per year. The deep sea port of Lekki is the first port in Nigeria with ship-to-shore cranes. It has 3 of these container gantry cranes. They belong to the Super Post Panamax group.